news. Mohawk College celebrates Black History Month. Hamilton works to put a cap on homelessness.
Is that we have over 700 homeless youth in Hamilton right now, and that number is really unacceptable.
The Pope resigns for the first time in 600 years. All this and more coming up now.
Good morning and welcome to Ignite News for Wednesday, February 13th. I'm Anna Rittens.
And I'm Charlie Chase. Here's what's making news. A human rights organization has released alleged reports towards abuse of Native women by RCMP officers. Human Rights Watch says it interviewed over 50 Native women, girls, and family members in both the U.S. and Canada. According to the research, police used tasers and pepper spray on young Aboriginal girls, and male police would strip search women. The organization has reported that there have been over 8 examples of females under the age of 18 being physically and sexually assaulted.
Senators in Ottawa have voted to force Senator Patrick Brazeau to take a leave of absence. Brazeau was charged with assault and sexual assault after being arrested in his home in Quebec. Chamber members want Brazeau to step aside to protect the dignity and reputation of the Senate, as well as keep public trust and confidence in Parliament. Brazeau is currently free on bail, and his leave of absence will remain in effect until the case is resolved.
The Pope has decided to resign from his position. Ignite News reporter Nicole Scholler spoke with the Catholic community about his choice.
His decision to resign at the end of this month. Many members of the Catholic faith seem to be understanding of the Pope's decision.
Well, the news came somewhat of a shock, but it wasn't an entire surprise, seeing that he wasn't in the greatest of health. And I know that another time, a couple of years back, there was talk of him wanting to retire or resign, but obviously it wasn't his time yet.
Not really surprised because, this is part of history. It's been done before, so it's one of those things that sometimes history does repeat itself.
I was glad I was sitting down, actually, because it was quite a shock to hear that, because in this day and age, you wouldn't hear of that, I mean, it's okay for like the kings and queens to resign, but they usually don't either. They're sort of in the same group because they have a lot of work to do, and maybe he felt that he was finished his work and it was time for him to think of himself.
One of the main reasons the Pope resigned from his position because of health concerns. Could it be time to consider a younger Pope?
It might, because all the priests we've had, all the popes we've had have, reigned for many, many years, and they have been in their 80s, and that's quite an age for someone doing, a very important job.
Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Nicole Scholler.
A recent study by McMaster University finds that immigrants to Hamilton have rated their quality of life lower than native-born Hamiltonians. Research found a gap between ratings and quality of life among new Hamiltonians. 61% of Canadian-born citizens rated their Hamilton life as excellent or very good, while only 49% of immigrants rated their life positively. The study focused on quality of schools, recreation programs and services, and a sense of belonging to the community.
Raising the Roof is holding Toque Tuesday on February 5th, and Wesley Urban Ministries looks to bring awareness to youth homelessness. Ignite News reporter Ayan Mohammed has the story.
With freezing temperature this winter, Hamiltonians that are homeless face the difficult task of finding shelter. In Hamilton alone, there are over 700 youth who are homeless, and the Wesley Urban Ministry Center is looking to change this through Toque Tuesday. Toque Tuesday is a day to celebrate and show support for the national campaign known as Raising the Roof, which looks to put a cap on homelessness. Goodness Me on Upper Gage Avenue commemorated Toque Tuesday by holding a celebration to raise awareness of homeless youth in Hamilton. Denise Scott is the Director of Children, Youth, and Family Programs at Wesley Urban Ministries, are focusing on 3 key points to bring awareness to the cause.
Is that we have over 700 homeless youth in Hamilton right now, and that number is really unacceptable. Also, that it only takes 24 to 48 hours to become entrenched in the street lifestyle, and that 60 to 70% of street-involved homeless youth have fled homes where there's sexual, physical, or emotional abuse.
One youth who was affected by homelessness is Carter McCohen and knows all too well how important campaigns like Raising the Roof are to youth.
Been on the streets for close to half a year, almost around a year. And honestly, it pretty much just saved me. And I moved in there, and life has just been great.
Youth who are homeless are more vulnerable because of the difficult task of finding affordable housing, but also finding landlords that will rent to them. Toques are on sale for $10 or more and can be found at different locations in Hamilton and their surrounding areas.
Proceeds with the toque sale will be helping combat youth homelessness, so youth like Connor will be able to find a place to stay. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Ayan Mahmood.
Metrolinx is asking for input from the public for its investment strategy to pay for the big move. Some ideas that have been outlined to raise funds include property tax, vehicle registration fees, and sales tax. Go Transit says the public has latched on to all of the ideas and have accepted the need to invest new sources of money in transportation infrastructure.
U.S. President Barack Obama's State of the Union address came with a surprising announcement that the United States plans to withdraw more than half of the remaining American troops in Afghanistan by the next year. Obama plans to end the 12-year conflict by the end of 2014. The speech also focused on job growth, improved infrastructure, and the national debt. Obama promises that his proposals will not increase the national deficit by a single dime.
The search for Christopher Dorner ended last night in a deadly cabin fire. Dorner was the main suspect in a killing spree that claimed 4 lives, including 2 police officers. The former Los Angeles cop barricaded himself in an abandoned cabin in California, where a shootout ensued before the cabin went up in flames.
Police have laid charges against 2 Hamiltonians after a raid on a pair of King Street West businesses. Police allege marijuana baked goods were sold at the location of Kush Pixie's Kitchen and Melonhead's Canadian Cannabis Movement. The raid came after a several-month-long investigation by the Vice and Drugs Unit. Peter Melanson, 36, and Rebecca Bruce, 20, of Hamilton both face charges including trafficking marijuana and possession of the proceeds of crime.
February is Black History Month, and the McIntyre Theatre here at Mohawk shared the celebration by hosting an exciting event. Rachel Williams is up in the newsroom right now to tell us how the celebration went.
Thanks, Anna. I had a chance to attend the historic event. The host provided excellent insight into the individual experiences of the Black slave population.
Dancing, storytelling, and raising awareness. These themes were featured throughout Mohawk College's Black History Month celebration. Brian and Shannon Prince are descendants of slaves who came to Canada prior to the American Civil War. Their heritage has led them to pursue an interest in African American history, particularly the Canadian Underground Railroad. However, their stories transcend the traditional approach to narrating historical experiences. Shannon Prince says that it is important to avoid the textbook approach to describing the past.
I think because of the fact that because history when we were growing up is rather boring, you listen to facts and you look at things in books and you look at pictures, and it's really important, we have found, when you bring those stories and that history to life, and it is more meaningful when you can hear those actual words from these people who experienced that, that triumph.
The Princes reenacted the experiences of individual slaves with a dramatic flair. As a historian, Brian Prince draws on personal diaries and archived material to ensure that the voices of the past are not forgotten.
There are people sprinkled across the province who are doing so much good work researching the stories, bringing them forward, and it's really interesting to see that growth and learning more about those fascinating people that have been forgotten, that didn't show up in the history books.
The presentation was accompanied by visual aids, including books, pictures, and artifacts.
We have documents that date back to 1850, diaries, journals, census rolls, taxes roll, family trees, and a lot of the artifacts here have been donated by people.
The African American culture was further brought to life at the end of the presentation with an African dance performed by Mohawk students.
The traditional approach to telling history has changed dramatically. The Prince's presentation embodied this change, focusing on the individual struggles of the Black slave population. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Rachel Williams.
Now let's take a look at what's coming up in weather, entertainment, and sports.
It's -2 degrees outside right now, and it looks like the cold weather is here to stay. I'll have all that and more coming up for you in your weather.
Drake wins a Grammy and Lady Gaga postpones her Hamilton show. All that and more coming up in entertainment.
Rudy Gay has another big night for the Raptors, LeBron James has an historic night in Miami, and the Hamilton Bulldogs wrap up their season series with the Marlies. All that coming up in sports.
And here's a look at today's top stories. The Pope resigns, immigrants in Hamilton believe there's a gap in the city, and Obama announces to withdraw more than half of the remaining American troops in Afghanistan. The cold weather continues this week. Let's check in with Nicole for your weather update.
Thanks, Anna. Here in Hamilton, we're currently sitting at 1 degree Celsius with mostly clouds. Toronto's looking the same, about 1 degree above zero and cloud as well. In Niagara Falls, it falls a little bit colder at 0 degrees and overcast. London is going to get some light snow and is at -2 degrees. Right now it is cloudy with winds at a temperature of 0 degrees. Looking to the next 24 hours in Hamilton, the evening temperature will drop to -3 degrees and remain cloudy. Overnight, it's going to get even colder at -7 degrees and lose any cloud cover. And tomorrow morning, we'll see cloudy periods at -7 degrees. Taking a look at the 5-day forecast, Wednesday we'll see a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 0 and a low of -8. Thursday, expect to see a few snow flurries as the temperature goes from a high of 2 degrees to a low of -7. Friday, the clouds will cover the sky and the temperatures will drop from a high of -1 to a low of -7. Moving into the weekend, we'll be getting colder with a high of -5 and a low of -11 on Saturday being mostly cloudy. Sunday will drop even further with its high of -7 and a low of -14, though we'll see a mix of sun and clouds. And that's all for your weather. Let's check in with Megan for your entertainment.
Nicole. Lady Gaga says she is heartsick to postpone 4 shows after sustaining an injury that has left her unable to walk. The pop star was set to perform in Hamilton on February 17th and has postponed shows in Chicago and Detroit as well. The new concert date is still yet to be determined. The 55th annual Grammys was live Sunday night. Canadian rapper Drake took home the Grammy for Rap Album of the Year. YOLO! The Pearl Company is hosting a fundraiser this Saturday after a string of bad luck. The Hamilton Arts venue has been in an ongoing battle with the city over zoning rights and their inability to obtain a liquor license. And more recently, the owners found their car totaled as well as 4 bullets in their door. The fundraiser Keeping the Dream Alive, Support the Pearl, will have a dance party DJ'd by former Much Music VJ Michael Williams. Let's take a look at what's happening on campus.
And here's what's taking place on campus today. There will be a free career assistance planning hour on Tuesday at 12 p.m. for students who need further support with career decision making. Also, Valentine's Day is this Wednesday, and there will be over 20 vendors on campus for students to buy a gift for that special someone. This weekend, make sure to check out the women's and men's basketball game on Saturday and Sunday at 6 p.m. That's your community calendar for today.
3 people were killed Sunday in a pre-dawn helicopter crash while filming for a new reality TV show for the Discovery Channel. The copter crashed in a rural area in Los Angeles at about 3:40 in the morning. All 3 people in the helicopter were killed. The names have not yet been released. That's all for entertainment. Time to pass it over to Kyler with sports.
Thanks, Megan. Well, the Rudy Gay era has officially begun in Toronto. The newest Raptor delivered some more late-game heroics Tuesday night against the Denver Nuggets. With 4.8 seconds remaining, Rudy hit his second game-winning shot in the last 3 games for a 109-108 win. DeMar DeRozan had a solid game, leading the team with 22 points and 8 rebounds. Kyle Lowry chipped in with 11 points and 10 assists. Former #1 overall pick Andrea Bargnani looked out of place, registering just 4 points and a single rebound in 18 minutes. The new-look Raptors improved their record to 4-2 since Gay's arrival. In the AHL, the Hamilton Bulldogs defeated the Toronto Marlies 3-2 Tuesday night at Copps Coliseum. Nathan Beaulieu netted the game winner late in the third period, and Joey Tanute and Gabriel Dumont each had 3 assists. It was the final game of 12 meetings between the rivals this season. The Marlies got the better of the Bulldogs with 7 wins and only 5 losses. The Bulldogs' next game will be Friday, February 15th. Back to the NBA, LeBron James is doing things nobody in the history of the league has done before. LeBron set an NBA record with his 6th consecutive game with 30 points and over 60% shooting from the field. James had 30 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds as the Miami Heat defeated the Portland Trail Blazers 117-104 Tuesday night. LeBron has now made an incredible 66 of his last 92 shots from the floor for a blistering 72%. However, James was not even the Heat's leading scorer. Chris Bosh was 13 of 16 with 32 points. The Heat improved to 35-14. In a losing effort, Blazers rookie Damian Lillard poured in a game-high 33 points, showing why he is the leading candidate for the league's top rookie. That's it for me with sports. Let's pass it back to Anna and Charlie.
Mohawk, what's the best Valentine's Day gift you've ever received?
Best gift I've probably ever been given was an iPod.
The best Valentine's gift I ever got was an MMORPG. It was a great game, but it kind of forced me to play with her.
I got jewelry from my boyfriend every year. Homemade chocolate mint cookies. My boyfriend is not a baker, and he went out and got all the ingredients and baked a delicious batch of cookies for me, and it was absolutely sweet.
A Michigan lawyer is getting into the spirit of Valentine's Day in a different way than most. Walter Bentley III is offering a free divorce to one lucky couple. The only catch is they must enter his contest. Bentley wants to hear the most compelling story as to why someone wants a divorce. The contest ends at midnight tonight, and so far almost 500 people have entered.
And that's all your news for Wednesday, February 13th. For more news coverage, check out our website at ignitenews.ca. I'm Anna Rittens.
And I'm Charlie Chase. Thanks for watching, Mohawk.